War. War never changes.
What?
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another edition of War Never Changes. We have the band back together. Who is the band? Well, of course you know me. My name is Jim. Over here is the man, the myth, the legend, 50 caliber, Phil McCracken. How are you, Phil? Did you say something or is my audio screwed up?
I said I'm doing great.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Did you just, was that this indication or did words actually come out of your mouth?
No words, just thumbs.
All right, well, Phil, we're doing a podcast. That means you got to open your yapper. Over here, the wheeling, dealing, loot box stealing, Twitch streamer extraordinaire, two-shot Willy, back in the flesh, new camera angle, same beautiful face. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Where the hell did you go, Will?
I had
Everybody wants to know
for
what
a
happened to
little
you.
while.
There was controversy. Did you die? Did Phil murder you? Was there a breakup? What's going on? Tell me.
It's top secret. I can't tell you. Otherwise, I'd have to kill you.
Okay. Whoa. Well, I don't want to die. But I'm glad everyone's here together once again, reunited at long last. And what I want to talk about is the only thing that we have prepared for today. But maybe the idea fairies will pinch either of these two wonderful co-hosts and their cute little chubby cheeks, and they will have something to bring up as well. But before we begin, I ask of you one simple thing. Trash or treasure? Phil, we're going to go first. Apple iPad.
Treasure.
Will?
Trash, 'cause I've never had one.
Ooh.
I'm Android, so I'm gonna go trash.
Okay. I got one other one for you, and then this is gauging the room, because I just bought an iPad. As you know, I'm obsessed with it. I draw all the time, so it's definitely a treasure. Will, we're going to start with you. The DualShock 4 controller.
I hear really good things about it, so treasure. I don't have
Phil?
one.
You asked the non-console guy about a console.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I've seen them. I hear they're nice.
We're doing a video game podcast, Jim. It requires you to know your target audience. I will say treasure. I like that controller a lot.
Hell yeah. All right, so very good. Listen, this was an exciting day. We're all here. I don't have to text anymore. We can all talk about it. We're going to talk about Halo. Okay. Did either of you guys watch Gamescom today?
No.
I think I know the answer, but we're going to go ahead and throw it out there.
No, I was working like a responsible adult.
That's what I was gonna say. You know, some of us actually have jobs. We're not allowed to play video games all day while we're at work.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's nice. But I want to tell you guys. Yeah, so Gamescom, for those unaware, which may actually be you two, is the European E3. So we have E3 here in the United States of America, Entertainment Electronic Exposition. It's an annual video game conference. Typically happens June, July-ish. And then over in Germany, they hold Gamescom, which is their version of E3. Typically, most of the content that is worth reporting happens during E3 because it's a bigger event. North America is the #1 consumer of video game products. They have the most money to spend. So typically game studios focus on giving them announcements first. However, because Microsoft is Microsoft, they instead decided that this year they would be releasing all of their major Halo announcements during Opening Night Live, which was hosted by Jeff Keighley, which happened today. Even though it's a German game show, it was filmed in Los Angeles today at 2 p.m.
Of course it was.
Germans finally got a win. They
finally got a win. And boy, did they ever get a win. The win was that Halo Infinite has a release date, and to hype up people like me who are already beyond hype, as Phil yawns, was Clearly, Phil is not as excited as I am. I don't think anybody could be as
I didn't
excited
get
as I
one.
am at this point. No, this is the good news story. They released a limited edition controller and a limited edition console. And I'm going to stop there and I'm going to hand it over to Will. And I want Will to tell me his thoughts on the fact that there are limited edition pieces of plastic that nerds like me will lose their mind over.
I thought it was really cool. I liked it, the look of it. Almost made me want to get one, but I liked it. It looks pretty cool. I like the Halo theme there on it and the controller.
He liked it till he saw the price.
Yes, the price is what is so confusing to me. I know it's a premium item in the sense that it's limited, which makes it premium automatically. If this was just like, hey, we're going to sell this like every other console, we're not going to have a problem. But Xbox, I guess, decided because it's Halo and because they know there are people like me who exist in this world, they have since decided, hey, we're going to jack the price up a little bit more than we normally do. So it's $50 more than the standard Series X. And the Elite controller, I believe, is $50 more as well.
Doesn't the console come with a digital copy of the game?
Ooh. Do you think that's why the price is up? I just always assumed that it would be with Game Pass and they're just going to funnel you into Game Pass. That's a really good question.
Maybe it comes with like a 6-month Game Pass certificate or something so you could check the game out.
You would think the man who bought 2 of them so far would figure out what he was investing in. But I, sir, am not that man.
You were a little distracted with pre-ordering as many as you could find.
I lost my mind. I'm trying to look here to find out. I lost my mind. I mean, it does say bundle, Phil, so I would suspect it does come with a copy of the game, whether physical or digital. But it also comes with a controller that I will never use. A matching Xbox, not Elite controller, but just a regular controller that comes with it as well.
Is it just a black controller? That's all it looked like to me.
No, it looks very similar to the console. So it's got the same gold hues on it with the gray. No stars on it. The console has like little stars on the top.
I'll use it.
The controller does not.
I'll use it because now I can retire my Cyberpunk. Because that whole Cyberpunk thing didn't work out. Now I can retire my Cyberpunk controller and my Cyberpunk console and use those ones. And I'm just going to use the Elite controller for my PC.
Okay. And Will, is this gonna make you like get into it? Like, are you like ready now? Like, is this your entry point into Halo hype, or a controller, or a console, or any of those things? Or are you still just PC Master Racer and GG's?
Probably stay with the PC Master Race, but if you aren't going to use your controller, I'll buy that one off you. It comes with it if you're never going to use it, and then I'll use the Xbox controller.
Oh, you're not talking about my old Elite controller. You're talking about the new Halo controller.
Well, either one. I need a controller, as you know, so.
Please do not wait until like 4 months from now.
Will.
My little heart and you complaining in Rocket League cannot take that kind of weight.
It works right now.
It works when we win like 5-2, but when we get scored on, this piece of shit. There was definitely, from the texts and the frantic phone call with Phil, who needs a nap, I think. Phil, you worked too hard today, man. Come on. It's okay.
I'm dying here.
Peppa. Listen. How your range of emotions today were like extreme sorrow to hope to joy. Where are you sitting right now at 5:27 p.m. EST?
Well, fortunately, you're like a resourceful guy. Otherwise, I'd be pretty upset. But I mean, you got me a console. So as much as I hate the fact that Microsoft's website glitched, because I actually started a chat with them while I was doing my work, and Dennis, who typed in very broken English, Dennis let me go ahead and know that a lot of people received the same error that I did, and it was a glitch on their site, and it screwed a lot of people. They're very sorry. They're going to release more next week. She couldn't tell me what day, but she said try again next week. I'm like, can you like escalate this and put me in for like a ticket for one? And she said no.
Did you say the name was Dennis?
Yeah. Yes.
And a she. You assume Dennis with a woman.
I skipped a step.
No, this is fascinating. I want to hear more.
Dennis put me in touch with a woman whose name I can't remember. I think it was like Rebecca. Definitely not Rebecca. And she explained to me that there would be more. She was Dennis's supervisor. There would be more coming out next week, but she couldn't help me. She said, sorry.
Aww.
I was like, can you do anything for me? Can you like let me know what day they're coming out? She said, I think she was going to laugh, but she said no. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So I don't have the controller, but I apparently have a console in your garage.
As where all good technology goes to die in my garage. Will, you weren't around for the PlayStation pre-order hype, but this is how all consoles go. And this is just the world now. I don't think we're ever going to get back to normal. Where we're going to have... Yes. What are you doing?
Oh, did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Cleaning my screen.
With what, a credit card?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't see the actual numbers, but I saw like a piece of plastic like this. How would I not... Real quick, time out. How would I not see it?
I guess I wasn't thinking about it. You started talking to Will, and I kind of thought maybe...
Wow.
It's been a long day, Jim. Move on.
I could tell. So, Will, you missed out clearly on not very much. Phil just figured out how to use cameras today. But for the rest of us, this is how launch consoles always go. I say launch. I mean, this isn't really a launch console. This is a very unique situation where the news comes fast and furious. You got to be on Twitter. You got to be ready to go. And if you think about it, it's already too late. You're just basically, the second the light goes green, you're clicking buy now. You've got all your information saved in because it's happening. And this is exactly what happened with PlayStation. And as a matter of fact, Phil and I were recording when the PlayStation orders went live, or we thought they were about to go live, and we were like half paying attention because we were frantically hitting refresh on like Walmart and Target and Best Buy and like Costco, like all the major vendors, Amazon.
So good, like 30 seconds of just pauses while you both are hitting.
Oh yeah, it was the worst show. I mean, this show might be the new worst one, but prior to today.
We're only 15 minutes into the show. It can't be the worst. It can't be the worst. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during the show at some point.
I want to see that one. Where's that one?
I don't know. Go through.
He probably
all, like,
did
50 or 60 episodes.
It got very mellow at one point. He was resting his eyes, I think, is what he said. Yeah, it's weird. I guess it's just the hype. We know the supply and demand. We know COVID has really still impacted a lot of logistical stuff. And I guess, honestly, people are just freaking out. So the announcement live at Gamescom, Jeff Keighley was on stage with Joe Staten, who's the game director for Halo 5, or Halo Infinite. And he said, oh, by the way, and he showed off the console, and then he showed off the controller, and I knew within minutes it was going to go live. So I'm honed in on my computer. I'm on the Microsoft Store. I'm on Twitter. I'm on basically every vendor waiting for this thing to pop. And it pops up, and I'm trying to refresh. The site's crashing. Phil's texting me. I'm crying and just tears of joy. Like, legit, I'm honest to God, like, tears are rolling down my face because I'm so excited for this. And it's like, it all happens so fast, and then the smoke clears, and I have two consoles. Yes, Phil, go ahead.
Did you really cry?
I really swear. You want to see how janky? I'm going to hold up a picture that I texted my wife. Maybe it'll come through on the screen. I'm not going to overlay it because that would require video editing.
A tearful selfie?
I took a tearful selfie. So
This is
I
the
text
worst fucking
her.
episode we've ever done.
I text her a picture. I don't know if it's inverted. I text her a picture of the console. There's Dr. Disrespect watching it because I was watching him watch it. And she writes, whoa. And I write, oh my God. And then I write, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, legit crying. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see my eyes are all puffy and red. I am legit crying. I even took my glasses off so you could see the puffiness in the corners of my eye.
That's hilarious.
I'm a Halo fan, man. This is my life, bro. I was so excited for this because Phil, you and I had talked about this for months. Honestly,
like, that's why I'm not ripping on you because you have
you could rip
legitimately
on me.
been
Oh,
waiting
please
for a
do.
year.
Please do. It's okay. I would rip on myself, but I'm too emotional right now.
You also hold the keys to my Xbox Special Limited Edition.
Is that what it is?
I have to be nice to you until at least November 16th.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this forever. It is their biggest franchise, period. Maybe it doesn't make the most money, but Halo is Xbox. There's no doubt about it. The fact that we haven't seen a limited edition console at all since the beginning of this thing coming out, no day one, no like white edition like they did in the past, no special edition for any of the big games they had coming out, which I don't really know which big games they would be, but they didn't have anything. No Elite controller news, no nothing. And then, oh, by the way, during Gamescom of all things, not E3, not the Halo announcement, not the Halo beta, not any of this other major news, on Gamescom at 2:30 p.m. Eastern in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon, oh, by the way, we're going to shut the internet down. It's surreal. Honestly, it's surreal to me.
So why do you think they did it there instead of at, like, say, E3? I mean, they had to have known about it.
That's a great question. My guess is that Jeff Keighley is really trying to make, because Jeff Keighley was hosting this. I mean, it was like a Jeff Keighley production essentially. I think I'm not saying he pays money for exclusivities. I'm not really sure how that market piece of it works, but I think he puts a lot of pressure on those guys to get big announcements on his show. I feel like when they announced Halo again during E3 and they kind of rebranded it and they announced they were doing a multiplayer beta, to me that's when the iron was the hottest to strike because everybody was talking about it, everybody was streaming it. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. You know, Call of Duty Vanguard was announced, we got some gameplay. We know Battlefield 2042 is coming out, we got some gameplay. It's kind of getting saturated by other announcements. So it is odd to me that they decided of all times this would be the time. But they did.
And why announce it in Germany? Like, is that like the second largest concentration of Halo fans? Because every time I play Halo, it's like a 12-year-old shrieking at me in English.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird because I'm thinking back to like E3. E3 was averaging about 150 to 200,000 viewers a day. And I think the opening keynote of E3 was like 800,000 people. And this was from YouTube. I don't know what Twitch or any of the other social media platforms. Today on Opening Night Live, Jeff Keighley's official stream was pulling about 16,000.
Okay.
So, I mean, Dr. Disrespect had 31,000 and he was co-streaming it. I don't know about the other people. Collectively, you add them up. I'm sure other people were as well. And it probably added up a pretty good amount. But definitely no way even remotely close. I wouldn't say even half of the numbers they had during E3. So the fact that this was the time they announced it, I don't know. And I'm just ecstatic. They also announced more tchotchkes. They announced a matching Razer wired headset, and they also announced a memory card as well that's in like the Halo camouflage, which I don't think I'll get.
The memory card, the internal one that goes like inside?
Yeah, so on the Xbox there's a little slot on the back, so it'll actually stick out, but it'll only stick out like that much. It's a little Seagate, like a memory chip type thing. It just plugs in. It's not like an actual PlayStation M.2 that you will never see. It's like the Xbox proprietary solution, and it's upcharged again. Seagate storage expansion card, it's $50 more, and the headset I think is $100 more than the normal Razer. It's either Razer or Turtle Beach headset. I'm not sure which one, but I'm good on those.
You're not getting the headset? Just to have the matching set?
Did you get it, Jim? If you did, talk
No.
me into it.
No, I didn't, and I think it's because I've invested so much in my Sennheisers and in my shit hell 2 DAC, where it's just overpowering anything. That's just going to be a little dinky 3.5 millimeter plug right into your headphone. It's not going to be anything fancy. And I'm not even sure it's like the performance iterative of their headset. I think it's like a $40 headset, and they put like spray paint on it, and they're selling it for $100. Not unlike the console, which looks cool. But I did need a console, so
I still thought you'd get it just to have it to match.
I might. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
We're gonna get off by the end of the show. Oh yeah, I ordered it.
I'm just yeah. So I've been kind of hovering across different sites and trying to make sure like I'm not missing on anything. Phil, you know this with the PlayStation. I buy many. I borrow them out to friends. I find homes for these things, and I want to have backups. I want to make sure I'm getting one. I want to get 2 or 3 instead of 0. I don't scalp them. I sell them to all my friends at cost, except Will. Will, this controller, let me tell you,
talk me into it.
$799, and it's got the official Xbox Fan Fest. I don't know, the light's so bright. The official Xbox Fan Fest 2019. Let's see if you can see it in the light there.
Let's get over
limited edition.
Yeah. So you give me the friend discount, huh?
Yeah, just for you, buddy. And I used it to score goals on you in Rocket League. So it's like a piece of your soul is in this controller.
I need it now. I need it.
Where do I sign up? So I guess in closing on Halo, I just got to say that this was awesome. And I'm so excited. And I'm glad that at least, Phil, so far we got you a console. I'm sure the controller is coming. We will find one.
Thank you.
These things, as we've seen with any kind of crazy stuff, even the 3090. I mean, even, I know, Will, you've been on the hunt. Are you going to Best Buy tomorrow, Will? Did you see what I posted in Slack?
I found Will a graphics card, and I was ready to pay the woman and drive it to him, and he did not want it.
Oh, Will, you piece of shit.
First of all, you never said you were going to pay for it and pick it up, and it was
I literally said in the text, I will pay for it and meet you like halfway. You would have had to drive 30 minutes.
I don't remember that. So I thought it was.
She was in Rochester. How would you pay her?
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, it's not worth the drive out there for.
You got to learn to read, but you know what? We need to move on.
No, we need to fill show. Carry on. Go more.
The whole show.
It must have just been a simple misunderstanding, which is fine. We're going to move on from it.
I think the misunderstanding is that you're trash. Be nice to me, bitch, or I'm going to cancel. I am mousing over the cancel order button right now. Do you see the glow? Do you see how bright my face got when I minimize the screen? Look, it's gone. Now watch my face.
Should we tell everyone about how when we were just together in Disney, I goosed you while you were standing on top of a 4-foot ledge right next to me?
You goosed me? I think you did.
I did goose you, but you didn't react, which was weird.
The one thing I'm going to take away from that interaction is you have incredibly soft hands.
You were wearing pants.
I was very pale?
You were wearing pants. How would you know how soft my hands are? My hands are like sandpaper.
I held your hand.
When?
We were walking around. I interlaced fingers with you.
You're right.
Look at Will. Will is disconnecting.
I don't want to hear about your little special
I know it's from all the suntan lotion.
Yeah, is that what it is? Anyways, so moving on, sirs. I want to talk about Warzone and zombies. Will, have you played zombies recently with us? I know you were having some like update issues. Did we ever get a game with you going? I don't remember.
No, I couldn't get it to update correctly. Warzone updated, but zombies wouldn't do it. And then by the time I got off, I need to uninstall it and reinstall it.
All right. So with zombies now, you have tanks, you have new types of zombies, you have flamethrowers. What are the other? There's the new map, I know. Was there anything other major? I mean, those are pretty major in themselves. Is there anything else, Phil, that like really like? caught our
The
eye.
helicopter. So there's a
Yeah, the loot helicopter.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
right,
Go
the
ahead.
loot helicopter. Yeah, so Will, we got to get back into zombies. It's very, I wouldn't say different. It's just, to me, way better than it was before.
I'd try it again, especially got all that stuff.
It was already fun before. I thought we had fun as a group playing. Is because I asked to play it so much you were getting sick of it?
I think for me personally, yeah, I was just getting a little bored with it. I like anything, like we've talked about with Warzone. Warzone drives me nuts, but it's the whole kind of hanging out with you guys while we're playing. It makes it enjoyable, but I was getting a little burnt out on zombies.
Same.
Dandies.
I think
Okay, that's fair.
I-
That's fair.
I think for me, it was the fact that I had completed the progression for the things that I cared about. I had maxed out my MP5. I had maxed out the healing aura. I had maxed out melee, the special guns. I had the Rambo skin. Not that that isn't anything to do with zombies per se, but and if I haven't maxed out Battle Pass, it's a ton of fun. But I don't want to make it sound like we're not making progress, so I gotta quit. Because I've sunk probably 50 hours of Rocket League with Will in the last month, and I don't get anything for it other than the satisfaction of being told how bad I am.
No.
I'm kidding. But my point is, I don't know. I think I'm not saying I would never play it again, Phil. I mean, obviously we've been playing it and it's fun. But I think the cool thing that they did with the game, Will, I think the really fun thing that they did is they've added enough stuff that it doesn't feel same anymore. It feels like, it seems like the helicopter draws out more enemies. It seems like the enemies are harder. They've got different types of enemies now. They've got different weapons. They've got different vehicles, like with the tank and a couple different cars. Now, I don't know. It seems like instead of piecemealing, they just said, okay, we're going to release the base game, and then like in a year from now, we're going to release version 2.0, and like that's where we're at now.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like fun. So is this like a helicopter you get and you can fly around in it and shoot out of, or
No. So
what is it?
go ahead, Jim. You're the leader.
Phil's hard at work there. Are you refreshing a website, Phil?
No, I'm answering an email. I'm sorry.
No, I figured you were on the Best Buy website because that's what I'm looking at right now.
Why
That's what I really thought he was doing.
Does Best Buy have something?
Not anymore. I bought them all. Not yet. Will, the helicopter you don't fly, it's an NPC like loot helicopter, but it's a limited time. Like it spawns on the map and then it flies off one edge of the map and it's gone for the level. If you destroy it, it doesn't shoot back. It's just a big bullet sponge, but it really does seem to attract a significant amount of enemies.
Yes.
If you destroy it, it usually drops some pretty crazy stuff, like a lot of salvage that you can use to like buy like the minigun or armor. And it usually has one or two really crazy weapons, some kind of like legendary type, whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a ray gun.
It has like all legendary stuff in it.
Yeah, kill streaks. Usually the flamethrower drops from there. I've seen the helicopter, when you're the chopper gunner, like that kill streak is dropped from there.
So there's enough for both of us to snag all the guns.
There's not enough for Jim, but there's enough for both of us. Well,
it depends. There are two different Filberts. Filbert 1 is the kinder, gentler Phil. Hey, what do you want? Then there's Phil 2.0, who I don't know
with Will, because Will doesn't communicate. He swoops in from nowhere and takes everything. If we could open a chest and all say, "Hey, what
There's
are we
the guy
gonna
that
do?"
stands
That's
on the
one
boxes
thing.
that opens.
But when Will comes in and slides in and steals everything and then runs off, like there's
I
no
think you were
hope.
mistaking me with Matt or something.
Matt doesn't play zombies with us that I know of.
He used to when we were playing a lot. Every once in a while, he'd jump in with us.
Jim's always willing to ready to talk shit, but when I make a point, he's silent.
No, I'm waiting till you're done yapping so I can say you're wrong.
You're doing a podcast. You got to open your yapper. I'm waiting for you to shut up so I can talk. Fuck you, Jim. Cancel it. I don't care. Don't cancel it.
Finally, we got some good content. It took 29 minutes, but Phil's back, baby.
I'll pay you $100.
Well, okay, so so in Warzone, Will, the reason you are the wheeling, dealing, loot box stealing is in Warzone, you have a case of mine. itis. Bad.
Bad.
Bad. And
I'll watch which direction he goes, go the opposite direction and loot. I'll
And he
open
still
a box,
shows up.
and from nowhere, just wham!
I do.
Right in, like
God.
swooping in.
I may have done that a couple of times to mess with you.
I
I
go
go
to
my
open up a...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead, sir.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, I generally go my own direction unless there's just nothing over there.
The box will open and there'll be like a legendary rifle, and I'm like, oh, cool. And as I pick it up, my character grabs a shotgun, and I'm like, a shotgun? I could have sworn this was a legendary rifle. And I see Will like polishing off the scope or whatever, walking away, and I'm like, that's my rifle. That guy stole it.
Sometimes when we play with Will on Warzone, I get so nervous about trying to pick up items, I'll hit the wrong button, and then he'll come over and actually be like, "Oh, you don't want this?" And he'll take it and fucking run off. Oh,
No. Well, then you should say something. I thought you dropped it. Why would I?
It happens too fast, Will.
I have
so
asked
funny.
before. I've had that happen. I said, "You don't want this?"
Oh,
I
that's
picked
so
it up,
funny.
maybe to look at it. I always offer to give it back.
To look at it.
Yeah, to see if I wanted it.
Okay.
Because I thought you were dropping it.
I guess we'll see.
So-
I brought my projector and I brought my PS5.
There you go.
So in Warzone, Will, unfortunately, you are, to me, the biggest culprit. And maybe it's because we played so much Warzone together that Phil, like, took that into zombies. But in zombies, Phil is like that, the way you were in Warzone.
I acknowledge that. I acknowledge.
I don't
100%.
I don't remember in Warzone doing it that much. I know there was a time I was doing it to fuck around, basically.
Well,
But I know in
That's
zombies
fair.
I do not
That's
do
fair.
that because I got to the point where I would stand back and wait and stand outside of all the drop area where it shits it out in front of it and just wait, and then it'd all be gone and be like, okay, and move on.
So the real victim in all this clearly is me,
Jim.
because I'm just standing back watching you two bozos climb over each other for like mediocre gear,
I will say
and I'm
this.
like, really?
I will acknowledge that, Jim. You never want you'll play through the game with a pistol. You'll be like dying and getting down, and it's just like everything's fine. You guys take.
It's fine. Everything's cool. Throwing rocks at people.
You're just like you're a martyr for our nonsense.
See, for me, usually zombies, I treat zombies as a way to level up gear. So
Same.
if I'm like, I'll play with a gun I hate and I don't want anything, the whole reason I'm playing with it is to level it up. So like if I picked up another gun and then I threw my gun that I hated down, it would never level up. So I will play a match with a gun I hate just to rank it up like I did with the Magnum, just so I have dualies. I'll never use them, but I have them. I'm like, okay, cool. Check it off the box. Let's move on to the next gun that I hate.
All I care about in zombies is leveling up my gun. But when I loot, all I want is a decent secondary weapon and like the salvage so that I can buy armor. That's all I look for is the salvage for the armor.
So is this like the beginning? Like, are we all agreeing we're turning a leaf here? Like the next time we play?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hear
Absolutely.
this. I'm gonna hear like the little angel. There's gonna be a little angel of Phil on one shoulder and a little devil of Phil on the other. And I'm gonna hear the little angel is gonna say, "All I care about is a little bit of salvage," while Phil is teabagging on the chest as it opens, like mine.
I will open the chests from the side and back away, and we can all discuss what we want.
Do you think, since it's clear that I am Switzerland in this, it would make the most sense for me to open the
You're not
chest and then?
Switzerland. You're like France. You're like France, who pokes and prods at Germany, and then
No agenda.
starts a war. They're like, you know what? We're out.
I don't want anything to do with this. I'm done.
I do get extreme amounts of pleasure watching you two argue over like what I consider trash
Will
gear.
and I have never had a single argument ever. It's never happened.
Aw. That's
I
nice.
will concur with that.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll report back at some point in
Jim's
the near
life goal,
future.
now that I've made the mistake of saying that, is to instigate an actual
Yeah.
argument between Will and I.
See, told you guys.
I will. Yes. I want to talk more about this graphics card, Phil, that you bought. No, I'm just kidding. So Okay, so we ended up playing a little bit of Warzone, primarily because Will couldn't get his Zombies launcher working for whatever. Like Call of Duty was being stupid. So we did jump over and we played some Warzone. We played, I want to say, 4 drops maybe?
I think I
4.
only stuck around for 2 because you guys were talking about vaccinations, and I can't talk about COVID anymore.
I think
Oh, Will and I have
think
very heated debates, but at the end of the day, we love each other.
I wouldn't say they're heated, but yes.
Okay. We argue, but not argue. It's like a lover's quarrel.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, let me ask you this though: on the 2 games or whatever, the second you left, Phil, whenever you were done, we immediately went to Rocket League. Immediately.
Yeah.
Which to me is so insanely addicting. Like, I don't know what about that game, because I played it when it came out. It was free on PlayStation Plus. That's how it got its like feet wet, you know. Like I played that game like day 1 and I loved it, and then I just kind of got out of it. The weird thing is Will and Ryan played a ton of it and I still wasn't into it. And now that I'm glad they're not done with it, but now that they're pros because they've been playing for the last 5 years, I'm like, I guess I'll get into it now. But man, that game is crack, dude. That, like, more than any other game, that's the game I think about the most.
And that's why I have 1,300 plus hours on it.
I thought you had like 2,000 hours. I gotta look real quick.
No.
I thought you and Ryan had over like 2,000 hours each.
No, I'm just over 13.
Oh, that's it. I'm
13,
at
15.9.
I'm at 56 hours.
I will say though, you have improved greatly in those 50 hours.
That's not saying much because when I started, I was pretty bad.
That is saying much. I'm saying is you're pretty decent now. It's hard. It is hard, especially when you get those decent guys that are doing the aerials and the actual air dribbles and stuff. I can't. I'm not even that good. I have a hard time with the air dribble stuff. So.
God, your profile picture on Steam is horrifying.
I haven't changed
And the description of your profile says Bob with a question mark. Bob?
Are you the Bob?
Huh?
Ooh, what if he is the Bob?
Are you the Bob?
I can't imagine he's the Bob.
No.
Why isn't he answering?
No,
I
said no.
Why would he be he would troll himself and, like, I mean, if he is, that'd be incredible, but I don't think he is. I haven't heard from the Bob. I wonder how he's doing. Will, how's the Bob doing?
Video. He lost interest.
Yeah, he might have. He's right. Will was on the last. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. So going back to Warzone real quick. Getting back into it, I hated it, but I want to hear if you guys liked it.
It's the same as it's always been for me. It's that love-hate relationship. It's
Okay.
fun. It's fun going around and getting in those firefights with you guys, hanging out, and then you get murked by something stupid and you get pissed off. And
Agreed.
I haven't played except for I played 3. I think it was 3 games of what's the small map where you keep spawning back in. I don't remember what it's called.
Resurgence Island.
Resurgence. I played 3 games of that since we quit, and I haven't played it at all since the other night we got on. So I stuck to getting off it.
Phil, what did you think?
I had fun. I would play like another match or 2 in the next coming week if you guys wanted to, but I'd rather stick to like Zombies or Cold War multiplayer or something like that. Or
Do you like Zombies more because it's not as competitive, or it's just more laid back, or you don't? What do you not like competitive stuff anymore?
No, I like competitive stuff. It's just easier to level up my gear on Zombies, and that's really what I'm trying to accomplish.
Gotcha.
Go that whole game 30, 40 minutes into it and not see one group and get maybe 1 kill, and then you get murked out of nowhere and just wasted 45 minutes.
Less frustrating.
Yeah.
I find myself as my time has become more and more scarce. I'm going to my gaming computer as a means to try to relax and like have fun. And I think like getting murked by what is surely a 12-year-old who's leagues better than me is over and over and over again in multiplayer or Warzone is not as fun as Zombies. But I'll play some multiplayer if you guys want to play. It can't just be about me all the time.
I think the lack of repetition in Warzone is what makes it hard, because you just don't know if you're going to drop into a super hot place or if you're going to drop into a place where there's nobody until the last 10 people.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that's the appeal of the multiplayer in Call of Duty Black Ops, where they're more team deathmatch types, where I feel like you do get those reps in, which I feel like if you played that for a while and then went to Warzone, it'd probably be more fun. But I still feel Warzone is so just overrun by cheaters right now that it's just very difficult to enjoy it. I mean, Call of Duty's even themselves acknowledged, like, hey, we have a problem. One of the big selling points, as a matter of fact, for the new Call of Duty Verdansk game is this brand new anti-cheat engine. And every time they talk about this game, they talk about the anti-cheat engine. So they're painfully aware, I think, at this point, too, that it's just not where it needs to be. And I think that's what keeps me away from it.
Why can't they put this new anti-cheat engine in Warzone?
It's a great question. I don't know. I mean,
or they're worrying so many people aren't going to jump onto the next one with everybody bouncing off this to what's everybody playing now? They bounce to
Apex Legends. Yeah. Everybody has jumped. All the major streamers have jumped to Apex Legends. It's crazy to see how fast. We always talk about like streamer culture and like there's like, what do they say, like with Bitcoin? Isn't it like Bitcoin, the whole organization is like less than like 50 people control a majority stake in Bitcoin, or they like can shape the market or whatever. I feel like that's comparable to video gaming, where like you have probably a dozen top tier streamers who really do drive the market. They really do. They're very influential, and what they play, people will follow blindly. If like Shroud or Tim the Tatman or Summit1G jump ship on a game, everybody jumps ship on a game, because clearly the streamers know best. I mean, right? Of course, isn't that what we've been led to believe? Right?
They are the gods of gaming.
So yeah, when they all got frustrated and left, I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Have you guys seen any news at all about the new Call? I know you guys said you didn't get a chance to catch Gamescom today. They did have more gameplay of Verdansk. Have you read or heard anything about what that game is going to be like?
Verdansk. You keep saying Verdansk. Are you talking about Warzone or are you talking about Vanguard?
Oh, Vanguard. I'm sorry. Am I saying Verdansk? Verdansk is the map in Call of Duty. I'm sorry. Vanguard is the new Call of Duty game. That's what I'm talking about.
I thought you were going to tell us that they're redoing Verdansk. I'm like, finally, I hate this.
They are. They are. It's going to be a new... Well, they are going to do a new Warzone Verdansk map in Vanguard. Yes, they are, to take advantage of the new Vanguard mechanics, which include Rainbow Six Siege type things, shooting through walls, C4ing, like demoing buildings, that sort of thing.
Don't we have that?
So now when I get sniped randomly through a wall, I can't even be mad about it anymore, because it's
that's right.
It's part of the
It's
game.
a feature, Phil. It's a feature, damn it.
They're tracking me through the walls.
Yeah, and so they showed off some gameplay of it today, and I've got to admit, I was not that impressed, because all I can think about is there's this scene where there's a woman like sneaking through like a building, and Phil's leaving. There's a woman sneaking through a building. Phil's done. Bye, Phil.
Love you. Mean it.
Here, I'll just do this. We'll just press it. Wait, I think it's this one.
Oh, don't mess it all
now
up.
He's just great. He vanished into the nether. Now he's back. Now he's gone. Now he's back. Welcome back, Phil. Phil had to get his tendies, emergency tendies.
No, they're on their way. I just wanted to make sure I had given them the right room number.
Yeah, so the gameplay now, it looks fun. It's a woman sneaking through this building, and she shoots a bunch of Nazis, and then the reload mechanic begins, where she pulls the little bullet out, and she's like, and I swear it's probably 10 seconds of putting bullets into, I don't know what kind of gun it is. You guys would know better than I would. And I'm like, this is the most boring thing. You think reloading like a stoner is bad in Call of Duty? Multiply that by like 1,000.
It's not going to be like that with every gun. You're going to have like your Tommy guns. You're going to have your drum fed guns, your belt fed guns, like your M. If you want a marksman rifle, just use the M1, because you put a blister pack in. It's not shot by shot. It's like a clip.
And when you shoot it, it goes. Is that the one that goes ping?
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear that sound again.
Oh, that's a beautiful sound. You're crazy. I want one
Well-
just for the sound.
Are you gonna buy the new game then to play?
Jim,
Not, I mean a real one, not the game.
Oh, I understand.
one of your one of your favorite guns to play with in Warzone and multiplayer has traditionally been the Hauer 77 shotgun. How do
Yes.
you think that you load that? I want you to run through the reloading cycle for that.
Yeah, I hit the letter R and I wait.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Same thing. It's a bullet. It's cartridge by cartridge, dude. In a shotgun, just like it is a rifle from old timey times.
I think I understand the point you're making, and I do agree with you. I think for me, the reason why the shotgun isn't as painful is I'm typically not shooting as much, and it's only 1 or 2 shots, and either you're dead, and then you start with a full clip or whatever, or you're not shooting 8 or 9 times in a row. You're just doing 1 or 2 shells at a time.
Jim, then you need to employ the kamikaze method, where you shoot through your magazine and then you throw yourself into a firefight so that you respawn with
That's
a fresh
right.
set of bullets.
I don't. Yeah, my R key is actually bound to W, so I just walk forward when I'm trying to reload. Like, I'm not stopping, bitches.
Do it, I dare you.
No limit soldier. Yeah, you make a good point, Phil, but I don't know. I guess for me with the shotgun, I don't ever feel like I'm hindered. And I think the other thing with the shotgun, and I think this was the same way with these other World War II type guns, you don't have to fully reload a shotgun to keep shooting. And I
What do
feel
you
like in
mean?
all these other games, you have to just wait until the cycle's done.
I mean,
Ting gun.
You mean you can
'cause you're putting a
load
new-
in one shell at a time and pause and break that reload cycle is what you're saying.
Yeah, like a shotgun, like, okay, let's say it has normally 8 shots. I shoot 5. I start to reload. I see an enemy. I could stop the reload animation to go to 6, then back to 5, and then continue to reload.
pretty sure.
I feel like in a lot of these World War II games, it's like the cartridge, or I don't know, it just takes. It doesn't seem like you could break up the animation. Maybe that's poor coding on their part. I don't know.
I don't know that. I guess I haven't played a World War II game in so long, just because they're lame. I don't remember, but I would think that it would be similar to the shotgun animation, where if you've got a bolt action sniper rifle that's either single cartridge or you're loading it in from the bottom or from the top or whatever, that you'd be able to just be like, put a bullet in, close it, and fire it.
Yeah, I kind of want to see this video now you're talking about because I'm curious what gun it is.
Yeah, just look. It was announced today. It was I don't know, some kind of rifle or something. But I swear the reload was just so slow.
Did it
And
look like it might be like the older brother of like a Remington 700 or something?
I have no idea. I just know that it looked boring and not fun, and all I can think of is playing that game would be boring and not fun, just like Battlefield 1 was boring and not fun, just like Battlefield 5 was not fun, just like Call of Duty World War II is not fun. There's a reason why we don't make shitty, lame guns like that anymore, is because people want to have fun.
Shitty lame guns.
I mean, yeah, it's a piece of history. That's great, but let's face it, it's boring.
Fuck you,
And I
history.
get it. I get the gameplay hook. It makes each shot matter more. You're not spamming bullets. You have to be more precise with your shots because reloading is going to take an hour. However, in just execution of it, I can't imagine dropping into Verdansk in my parachute, in my World War II camo, and like, oh, look, a musket. And you're like piping it down. And you're like ripping the little, putting the powder in. And,
You've always got the option to just not use a gun like that, because there'll be plenty of semi-automatic or automatic weapons for you to choose from.
Well, I'm not into it. I'm telling you, I'm out. As soon as Battlefield comes out, as soon as Halo comes out, I'm done. That's what I'm saying. And I've been very, very clear. I will be done.
And you'll
I
never
think
go back.
No, I would never say that. I mean, I don't speak in absolutes, man. Never. I'll never say that. I'll never be absolute.
So you won't always be heterosexual.
$20 is $20, baby.
I was gonna say, is that a in the future thing, or we were? That's a now thing.
Listen, everything's got a price. I think it was Yeah, everything's negotiable. Muhammad Ali, that's a famous quote from Muhammad Ali. Everyone's negotiable. But yeah, so to me, it's not interesting. That's all I'm going to say. So we got a few minutes left before we wrap up. I'm going to kick it over to either of you two guys. If there's anything you want to say or anything I missed or any topics, we're at 49 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it to under an hour.
Yeah, we really milked the shit out of this.
Dude, it was Halo. But I'll be quiet, please. Over to you guys. I'm gonna even make my.
Will hasn't been on in weeks, so I give the floor to Will.
What do you think, Phil? Especially with how much traveling you do, the Steam Deck? No.
Yeah.
Steam Deck. Yeah, Steam Deck. What do you think of that?
I had looked at that, and I just don't think that I'd use it. I mean, does it run Skyrim? Because then we can talk. Does it run Warzone or Zombies? Because then we can talk. But I don't think I play the kinds of games that it's designed to run.
Okay, Skyrim, my phone runs Skyrim. So yes, it will run Skyrim. Probably better than just about anything you've ever played it on. It'd probably be comparable to a PS4 Pro type experience would be my guess. Probably 60 frames a second.
That's what I've heard.
High draw distance.
It's pretty decent. And Jim, you might be able to answer this. I thought I read that it actually streams most of these games, but someone was telling me it's actually playing them on the unit itself.
It's actually installed on the unit itself. Yes.
Okay.
You can. People have already talked about like hacks to like get Xbox game or what do they call it, the Xbox Cloud or whatever, Cloud Sync, where you could stream games. But everything you put on there is installed, and there are two price points. The more expensive being for a larger hard drive.
What will it run? Will it run like Warzone and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, probably, like I said, probably like a PlayStation 4 Pro type experience. Probably not as good as next generation, but the great thing about PCs is you've kind of started to dabble into them. There's so many options. So if you're really concerned about frame rate, you can get there. You might have to sacrifice some image quality, or particle effects or something. But if that's your preference, you could get that. If you'd rather have a 4K experience, you could probably get that too, but it'd probably run a little slower.
That definitely gives me something to consider, because hauling this PS5 around with me and trying to figure out like getting through Marriott's preloaded like smart TV interface to just be able to put it on the like I'm literally traveling with a 1080p like with $1,000 projector that I could maybe play video games if the Wi-Fi in the building.
I love it. I love it. That is so hardcore dedication.
I know you were talking about you had the projector there to play with and all that. That Steam Deck might be a little bit. I wonder if it's got a connection, if you can connect it to a screen.
Yeah, I've got
I think they sell a dock separately. I think they do sell a separate dock, and it does allow you to plug in. Obviously, it's got USB ports, so you could get your keyboard and mouse and everything. I don't know how pretty it'd look, but you could do it.
Wait, this thing is $600 and it doesn't come with a dock? All right, Gabe, I need you to focus.
Gabe.
Fuck off.
Wow. Well, we just lost the sub.
I mean, how much are those docks to produce for them?
For $600,
when you're already buying a $600, portable computer.
Gabe, you don't make the games we want. All right, you haven't lost any weight, so I know you're not doing anything in your spare time.
Damn, Phil is going ham.
I need you to fucking hop on, okay?
Wow.
Either make us a game, or give me that fucking dock for the $600.
Wow. Okay. Well, message sent. We'll see and I'll check the comments feverishly to see if Gabe decides to respond next week. I don't know. I doubt it, but hey. Are you texting him now? Phil's going to text him?
Looking up
Bring me my dock, Gabe. I'm interested in it, Will. I don't travel enough, but I would totally be interested in it because I love tech, and I just think that sounds so cool to have. I would find a way to use it. I just don't know if I need it, but I would totally find a way to use it.
I'm pretty much on board with you, as I think it'd be really cool to have, really cool to play with, and have that ability, but I don't think I would ever use it anywhere near enough to justify the cost.
For the amount of travel that Phil does, I mean,
That's what I was
honestly, when I saw it, that's a good topic you brought up. When I saw it, I thought of Phil right away. I was like, this is the guy who this is designed for. The guy who's constantly in the hotel, but wants to play games, wants to have good experiences, but doesn't want to carry around consoles and control. Look, I did all that stuff for years, and I hated it. So if you could put it all, that's the nice thing about my tablet with like my drawing supplies. It's all in one spot. It's a little tablet. It's a pen. I'm done.
Yep. We've reached, as of 2 minutes ago, we've reached peak humanity. The baby from the Nirvana album cover. What was that?
I saw that.
He has reached the tender age of 18 and is suing the band for child sexual exploitation.
For child pornography. Yep.
It's a good album. I mean, not for the art, but I mean, the album itself is pretty good.
Jim's not into the album cover. Is that what you're saying?
Jesus. Dude, grunge is my I've been very clear from the beginning of time, grunge is my jam. That's my absolute favorite genre of music. So Nirvana is the king of grunge. So, of course.
No one's calling your loyalty or love into question, Captain.
My love for Nirvana and babies, apparently. All right, well, listen, guys. If that isn't a high note to end on, I don't know. I don't know what is. We've got Phil walking away, Phil trying to swipe his credit card, Phil reading the news about Nirvana, everything but the show. And now that the show has come to an end, before I turn it over to Phil, Will, is there any last words you would like to say, sir? And before you do, it was great having you back.
That's all I got to say. I'm happy to be back. I'm glad we're back on the show, having fun.
You're fired. Phil...
Bye.
Phil, I'm going to press this button. I don't know if it's going to work, but are you ready? Oh, it didn't work. It actually showed Will. So pretend.
Quick, Will, take us out.
Here, I'll sit here and talk. You talk. Go ahead, I'll talk. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
So, much like Jim likes the baby from the Nirvana album art way too much.
What the fuck?
War also never changes.